So yeah, it's blogging night. We're going to talk about blogging tonight. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm a professional blogger. I've been blogging for a long time.
12 years?
Like some over. Has it been 12 years? Man, it has been 12 years,
It's
hasn't
been
it?
12 years,
It's
dude.
so long. It's just crazy to think about. But
Full-time 12 years.
but yeah, I've been a full-time blogger like that long. It's crazy. So I started my first blog in 2007, and I got laid off in 2008, and I came home, told you I was getting laid off, and then started going down the path of looking for another job. And I kind of felt like, as I was praying about this, felt like I wasn't supposed to look for another job. I'm supposed to start working on this fledgling blog that I had. And I talked to her about it, and I thought she'd be like, "That's insane. Like, I want to eat food and live indoors.
I
Like, why
mean,
would you do that? This is 2008.
we already had not a lot of money anyway, so there
Like
wasn't
who
much to
makes a
lose at
living
that point.
blogging in 2008?" And but anyway, that's what we both felt like we were supposed to do, and so that was the journey we went down. And by God's grace, within 9 months, I was making more from that blog than I was my old day job,
Isn't
and
that crazy?
absolutely like crazy ride ever since. Like we've
It was awesome.
yeah, like blogging has. Other than Jesus, like just provided so many amazing things, experiences, and like some of our best friends we've met through our blog. It's just opened so many doors. It's done so much for us.
Yeah.
It's allowed us to travel the way we wanted. It's provided way more than a generous living for most of the years. It's just been a really amazing journey, and I am
Yeah.
a big advocate for blogging as a whole. So
Yep.
anyway, all that to say, I want to talk about a lot of bloggers or new bloggers, wannabe bloggers are often asking me like, well, how does a blog actually make money, and what are some of the ways you can do it? And so that's what we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. So if you are a blogger, this is not going to be, if you've been blogging any length of time, this is not going to be interesting for you. But if you're considering starting a blog and have thought about it and curious about it, this will be helpful for you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Let's get to it.
anything else you want to add
I don't
before
know.
we get going on all this?
Do you have any notes, or are you just like
Yeah.
going for it because
Yeah,
you
you
just...
can pull up the notes. It's on there.
Is this
Yeah.
it? That's it? Okay.
So,
Hi, Stacy.
hey, Stacy. So let's get to it. Yeah. So the first way when I began in 2008, and honestly, this is still what I recommend for most bloggers because it's the easiest, simplest way to start making money from your blog. So the first thing that I did was put Google AdSense ads up on my blog. And so I'd write a few articles. I mean, really, probably once I had 10 articles on there, I applied for the Google AdSense program. And I'm sure you've seen the ads because they've been everywhere all over the internet for the last 15 years. And just the biggest ad network for pretty much any website. And so all kinds of news sites use them. Everybody uses them. And so I put them on my site after I had about 10 articles up. And I still remember, like, as I remember telling you, like the first time somebody clicked on one of our ads and we made, I think it was like,
7 cents.
was
or
it
something?
7 cents?
Something
And
like
I
that.
remember being so excited that I had, because it was like my first taste of entrepreneurship. It was my first taste of starting a business, and it was literally the first money I ever made, not from a job. And it was so significant to me just seeing that 7 cents, because I knew that if I could get a click and make that 7 cents, that I could get 10 and I could make 70 cents, or I could get 100 and make $7. And I just knew that if I kept at this thing, it would just grow and I could build up on that. And so anyway, that 7 cent click was really significant in my life and in my journey. And a lot of people are intimidated, because like any new thing you start, it's like you see people who are way down the line and you think, well, how could I ever get there? How could I ever be there? But that's what it starts with. Everybody starts the same way. Everybody starts at the beginning. And anyway, so that's how it was. And so that's why we recommend Google AdSense, because it's really simple. They literally just give you some code. You put it on your site. It's simple to do. There are plugins which will allow you to do it. And plugins are a simple way of saying like an add-on to your WordPress site. And anyway, so that's one of the simplest ways to get started. I don't use AdSense anymore because I've moved to a different ad network, which I can talk about in a minute, or I will talk about in a minute. But I do actually. Some of my other websites have AdSense still running, and yeah, all of our new students in any of our blogging courses, we still recommend Google AdSense. All right, so now, second way, let's get to other ad networks. And so there's a lot of different ad networks that you can use. So Google AdSense is called a CPC, or cost per click ad network. And so what that means is you get paid every time somebody clicks your ad, which is kind of cool. But without getting too much detail here, you don't want to go tell all your friends to come to your site and click your ads because you'll get kicked out of the program.
Yeah.
They're really smart and they know when stuff is not legit.
And don't click your own ads.
And
either.
definitely don't click your own ads. That's
Definitely
against the
don't
terms and conditions, which should be obvious. But I do know that a lot of people try to do that. So don't do that if you apply for them. But outside of that, there's a lot of other ad networks that you can run kind of simultaneously. And what I've found, being in the financial niche, is that there's a lot of financial related ad networks. And then I found that for some of our students who run cooking blogs or like recipe blogs, there's a lot of or ad networks specifically for that. And Linda used to be a blogger many years ago. How about you try to guess what she blogged about in the comment section on
That's
either
kinda
one of
fun.
these? I want to see if anybody can get this right.
I just told one of my friends today that I blogged, and she was like, "What?" She had no idea.
So Ann, Jesse, Shalina, I want to hear you guys guessing.
Yeah.
And who do we have over here? Stacy, Lauren. I want to see somebody guess. I don't know who else is
Hey,
on
Lauren.
here. All we see with Facebook is
The people who follow us, or who we're following.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. Anyway,
Which is silly.
somebody's got to guess because I'm not saying anything else until somebody guesses. So give me some niche
You're
that
not
you
saying
think
anything else.
Linda was blogging about. What you think that she would blog about? Or is it Jeopardy music? Okay, fine. You guys all went in. Okay. There
Fashion.
you go.
Two people said
got it
fashion.
right. Perfect. Okay, so that's exactly right. She had a style blog in
Style
what,
blog.
2010 or something?
Yeah, it was a long time. Beauty,
Yeah.
It was not beauty.
It should have been
Shopping
a beauty blog.
issue. It was actually a
definitely
shopping blog. It was not
It was clothes,
fashion. It
all
was
the above.
just
Yeah.
shopping.
So anyway, so she
It's
had a
so
style
accurate.
blog, and there's tons of ad networks specifically for style bloggers. So point is that there's other types of ad networks that are specific to niches, and oftentimes they can make you even more money than AdSense because it's a grouping of related type of ads. And anyway, I've just found that some of them actually pay better than AdSense. Excuse me. And so that's another thing you can do. And a lot of times there'll be like banner ads. So there'll be things maybe in the header of your site or in the sidebar, kind of the big banner ads that you've seen. And that's another way you can do it. Now, third on the list is affiliate marketing. And essentially what this is, you've seen this everywhere because every Instagrammer, every blogger, everyone in the world is an affiliate now for something. And basically what it just means is that you are a 100% commission salesman. That's what it means. And so if you have a beauty blogger who's talking about her favorite makeup that she just got and that she loves, and she most likely is an affiliate for it. And so if you run out and buy that using her link, she's going to get a little commission. Or Linda, with certain things, trying to think, was it anthropology? Anyway,
It works
I don't really
so
know.
different now than it did then.
Yeah. Anyway, point is that
But you can buy clothes and get commission, linking to the clothes, basically.
yeah. So in my case, there are different products that we use and we recommend and we like. And so we will talk about them on the blog and on YouTube and whatever, and we'll tell people about them.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you guys click and use our link, then we'll get a commission for that and helps
Right.
support what we do and helps, keep a roof over our head. So we love it.
So yeah, little disclaimer, the tricky thing and the thing that makes you actually good at your job, good at blogging, is not recommending things that you don't actually like or that you don't have any experience with. And I think there is a little bit of a idea that people are just pushing stuff just to make money off of it. And I'm sure people are doing that. Obviously.
The bad ones.
The
Yeah.
bad ones, yeah.
Because you're not going to last. If you do that, you're not going to last.
Yeah, because no
your
one will
audience
trust
won't
you. It's just lying,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so that is a really important part of affiliate marketing as a whole. To do this the right way, you have to leave money on the table, so to speak, because there are going to be companies who reach out to you and say, hey, we want to pay a whole bunch of money to promote our thing. even though it's a really bad piece of junk and all your followers are going to hate it, we want to pay you money to it. And you
Yeah.
have to say no to that stuff because your trust of your subscribers, followers, readers is so much more valuable than the few bucks that you might make on the short term. So you have to be thinking long term about it. And so our policy is basically, if I don't love it, I mean, pretty much I use every single thing that we're an affiliate for. Like that's just a really good filter. But there are some things where possibly I've moved out of the season of using that, but I still really love the product. Like I'll be an affiliate for that. But you have to be ruthless about saying, these are my lines and my guidelines, and I am only going to be an affiliate for stuff that I really find valuable or I
back.
love or I use or whatever. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, what you say is just going to mean nothing to your audience. And so that's a really important part of all this. But
Yeah.
all that to say, affiliate marketing has a really good potential to earn a lot of money from it because like all the risk is removed from the company because you're a 100% commission salesperson. So if you don't sell any, you don't make any money. And so all the risk is taken off of them. So they typically pay a little bit of a higher payout than a lot of the ad networks. So anyway, so that's another thing you can do. That's been a big part of our revenue for really probably the last 5 or 7 years. The first few years of our blog, it was probably mostly AdSense, maybe a little bit of affiliate marketing, but we kind of transitioned the business model more towards affiliate stuff as we found more products that just lined up with us and what we believed in our approach and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
Teresa, we'll take some questions at the end, and we'll chat back and forth with you guys.
Yeah, great. Hey,
Just so you know.
hi Kebab22. All right, so number 4 on the list is Kindle books. And so this was something for me that was an experiment. I took a blog post that I had written that was a really long blog post. I think it was probably 7,000 or 8,000 words at the time. And so really extensive blog post. And this was 2008 or 9. I mean, it was a long time ago. But I'm like, I want to do an experiment. I'm going to throw this up on Amazon Kindle and see what happens. And I did. And people started buying it. And it's like, it's amazing. I just took this blog post that's sitting out there free and I put it on Kindle and now people are buying it. And so anyway, that taught me a lot. And I since created a couple more Kindle books after that. But point is that some of your content that is free on your blog, you can turn into the Kindle store. Now, I think they have changed the policies or tightened them a little bit more where they don't want it on your blog and on the Kindle store at the same time. So you might need to do one or the other. But point is that there's a big market of people with Kindles who want to buy Kindle books. And it's really easy to create. So you can basically write your book in a Word document, go to Fiverr or Upwork, and pay somebody probably $15, $25 to just format it for Kindle, and then you just upload it to the Kindle store. I mean, it's really simple. There's just not much to it. I mean, possibly make a cover, but that's also something you can do in Canva.
So in other words, you can do it.
You absolutely can do it, and it's really, really simple.
Okay.
And I have a friend who's another financial blogger. He's actually an accountant. And this is all he did. This is how he made almost all of his money. So he had a blog, but every single blog post, he had 6 or 8 Kindle books, very short Kindle books, maybe 50, 100-page Kindle books. And every single blog post, he would point at the end of it to a related Kindle book. And that was it. And so he was just constantly selling Kindle books, and he made a really nice living doing this. And he would go out and rock climb every afternoon. And anyway, I'm like, that's a great, simple business model, And so anyway, so that's another thing you can do. All right, next on the list, this is number 5. It would be coaching or consulting. A blog is a great way to pick up clients for consulting or coaching. And the beauty of this is most of the other things we've talked about so far, you need a good amount of traffic to make it, a decent living out of it. But this one you don't. If you're doing a consulting gig or a thorough coaching thing, just a couple of those a month, might be all you need to have a decent living, off of your blog. And, so you don't need that much traffic, even if you just get a few hundred visitors a month and you convert 1 or 2 of them to coaching clients, that's not too bad. So that's something that you could definitely consider as well. All right, number 6 would be courses, online courses. So taking the knowledge that you have about whatever the topic is, and then creating some kind of online course. And we've been doing this for years, and this has always been part of our revenue, because what we found is that, and this is something that took me so long to understand, but there's an audience for a blog and blogging, and then there's an audience who wants it in more of a organized, digestible format, because a blog is just not really great for that. It's great for releasing an article, but after a few weeks or months, it gets buried and kind of gets lost, and unless you are getting Google traffic to it, it's just hard to get people back there. Whereas a course is more generally laid out more systematically, taking someone through the process and teaching them, and people are willing to pay a lot of money for that, just for the organization of the content. Is that funny?
No, I'm looking at
Is there a
Andy
funny
says
comment?
I love Bob. I
great.
do too, Andy.
And so anyway, so that's what's so good about creating an online course. And so that's just another thing that you can do. And again, this is another one where you don't have to have a huge amount of traffic coming into your blog in order to make it work with an online course. If you have your online course and you're priced at a few $100s, just a few of those conversions a month turns into a decent side income. So. And again, this is one of those things that's gotten so much easier. My friend Andy is on over here on Facebook, and he and I have both done this, and he and I are a little bit familiar with the tech side of this. He helped me with a webinar I did like 12 years ago, and the technology used to be so much more complicated than it is now, and now it's so much simpler to, you can go to a site like Thinkific. That's who we use for all of our courses, and they take care of all the payment stuff. They take care of, you basically just upload videos and lay it out. It's just really, really simple. So much easier than it used to be. So this is a really valuable option as well. All right, number 7 on this list is to sell digital products. And this is, a course could fall in this category, but there's a lot of other digital products other than a course if you don't want to create videos, and if you don't want to, and the course doesn't have to be videos for what it's worth. It could be text-based, but video is pretty common. But digital products, so for example, my mom, so I convinced her to start a blog many years ago. Probably, when did she start? Probably 6 or 7 years ago. And so she was a church kind of management consultant. And so she had worked at our church for years in the back office, kind of running the business side of it, the business administration, all that stuff. And so she created a website where she's helping church leaders just kind of manage some of the business side a little bit better, a little more efficiently, and things like that. And so she did some consulting off the blog, but then she also created some digital products. And like one of the things she found her audience wanted was job descriptions. And so like a lot of these leaders were looking to hire for positions, and she had already written a whole bunch of job descriptions. So she just kind of rolled them up into a package and then sold them as a digital product. And now that's like one of our primary revenue streams on our blog. And so it's something that she already had that she didn't really think was that much value, but she pulled it up and rolled it up into a package, and her audiences just loved it. And it's been great and super helpful for them, and been able to provide an income for her. And so anyway, so there's a lot of ideas there, depending on what your niche is and what you're doing, a lot of different ways to create a digital product and to sell that on the blog as well. All right, so there's actually a whole bunch more ways to blog, but those are the 7 like key ways, and I want to just kind of get those out on the table now. And so the other thing I want to mention here, the reason we're talking about the blogging thing specifically tonight is because last Black Friday we ran a promotion where we took our Start Your Blog Kit, which is basically a package of 3 little courses and a whole bunch of these digital products we're talking about. And we rolled it all up into one big package, and we marked it down 85% off. And they sold like hotcakes on Black Friday. And so we were talking about this the other day, realizing that a whole bunch of people at home right now, it's actually a really good time to start a blog because a lot of people have some extra time than they normally do. And surely we're all busy. You're always going to be busy. But anyway, the point is that we thought now would be a good time to kind of run this similar promotion. So that's what we're doing. So from now until Friday night at midnight, we're releasing our Start Your Blog Kit for 85% off. Awesome. And so we have the link. It should be in the description, both on Facebook and on YouTube. And basically what it is it's a package of a couple courses. It's going to teach you everything you know to actually start your blog. So kind of step-by-step instruction on how to start your blog. And then there's a course, WordPress Masterclass, which will teach you how to use the software so you will know it
Which is amazing.
better than me. Because like a lot of these things, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that took me that long to learn that, how to actually use it right. I mean, some of these things, very seasoned bloggers don't know. So a lot of good information there. And then, there's a whole bunch of other goodies like checklists of what I do after I press publish. I think there's SEO stuff rolled up in there to kind of get search engine traffic. There's just a whole bunch of stuff in there. So if you're interested at all, click the link in the description, check it out. If you have any questions about it, definitely ask me, and I'm happy to answer any can. But if you have any additional questions about blogging, I'm happy to chat about any and all of them as well. So let us know.
And